Alright guys, welcome to the video. Anthony here, Special Analysis. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Going to kind of share with you the thought process we ran through this morning, particularly light sweet crude oil. As many of you know, this is the market that I'm personally trading. However, we do also trade the NASDAQ, the S&P, and gold inside the live analysis room. Now, with that statement being made, the indices were fairly detached from one another, which was less than ideal. And gold was really kind of bound within its VWAPs and not really giving us much potential. But crude did line up pretty decent, so I want to talk about that, kind of talk about how I played it myself, and also the information that I had delivered to the folks attending the live analysis room, so they had some insights to what my analysis had led me to believe. So let's talk about it. I'll just kind of back out here a little bit, show you the overnight session. We were running a pretty nice uptrend here. Okay, so I just identified that by a simple trend line, multiple touches, 4, 5, 6 touches on the way up. That tells me, hey, the bias here is running higher, which is totally fine. Okay. As I came to the market earlier this morning, I saw that we were getting kind of caught up here around 5:45 into like 6:30. You can see we kind of had trouble at this prior high. Now, at that time, I was not prepared to trade. I was still having my cup of coffee. I sit with my wife in the morning. We chat. Like we have a routine that we follow because I feel like it's always healthy, for us to have that time in the morning with each other, that time in the evening with each other as we both get caught up in our work days. So by the time we got together here, it was roughly about 8 o'clock, and that's when we start our live session, and that's when we were actually testing this prior high. So you can see here, there were some trap buyers. I have it marked off on the 5:45 candle. Also some trap buyers there on the 8 a.m. candle. On my order flow screen, I could see that there was a cumulative volume delta divergence. That's what CVDD stands for, and then at the double top. So, I made it very clear. I'm like, hey guys, let's talk about crude first because I feel like we may be encountering some pressure here. If we're unsuccessful in closing above the 545 high, there's a chance we start the process of falling back. Falling back to where, right, is now the expectation component. And that was falling back here to 80.80, right, this level right here, 80.65, this level right here, and then 80.35, which was right down here. Now, with the 80.35 level, I want to be clear that I also communicated we had some liquidity resting at 80.40. So there was a chance that that liquidity could have caused a bounce. It did, in fact, push us through 80.35, but those were the 3 targets here kind of laid out based upon the inability to push above this prior high. Now, inversely, had we pushed above that prior high, it would have invalidated that analysis, interpretation, and expectation, right? So coming up here from this area here, dropping into 80.80 provided about 28 ticks. 80.65 provided 43 ticks, and then 80.35 provided about 73 ticks. So really a beautiful opportunity here. Market pushed super nicely. We get the 9 o'clock open. We come back and hold the VWAPs. Is where I said to him, hey guys, listen, we're probably, if we hold the VWAPs here, then we're going to push lower and break this low. And that's ultimately what happened. You could see we held the VWAPs here on the 9 o'clock open. Super strong buying volume. But notice that this candle closed roughly at about the 50 to 60% mark within the entire overall move. So that told me that the buyers were probably not strong enough to overtake the sellers. And you can see at the top here, I marked off, there was some absorption that did take place in the top 3 ticks of this candle. And then the market absolutely took a tumble into that 80.35 and slightly through it as anticipated. And for me, that was it. Like, I was totally done for the day. I placed those trades. I took profit. I actually entered a little bit more here on the 9 a.m. candle because I felt like this was going to probably continue to push. So I added to my position here. And then we ran beautifully, took profits, and I was done. Now, we were looking here that if we ran the 80.23 lows, that we would be probably zooming out here looking, back a few days and probably running towards $80. Now that obviously didn't transpire. We rotated after testing that 80.35, and you can see currently as we're rounding out the day, basically we are at roughly just off session highs. There was some absorption here, some absorption here. We're just kind of banging around, not really making any super advanced moves. It is what it is, right? There's some resting liquidity above, some below. Whatever the market chooses to do, there may be some volatility into the 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time close, but I don't care, right? I don't care. I took two trades, well, one trade that I added to, right? So it was, I got short, I started taking profit. When the market pulled back, I felt very confident that it was still going to go lower, so I added to my trade, right? So I took some profits, let some of it run, market pulled back, gave me an opportunity to re-enter the trade, so I put some more size on. I basically replaced the size that I had already taken profits from. And then the market pushed further. And that was it. And then we started kind of recovering here. We did identify this higher low. I did tell them, hey, listen, we broke these prior highs here ever so slightly. And as we were concluding our session at 11 a.m., I said, look, we've just pulled back into the VWAPs. If the VWAPs hold here, we should re-push these highs and push onward and upward, targeting liquidity at 81.60. Which has been filled at this point. There is currently, as I sit shooting this video, liquidity resting at 81.75, which has not been filled, and then more at $82 as well. But yeah, that's how I personally played it. I didn't have much intention of trying to continue to play it because I felt pretty good about just taking one trade. Like sometimes when I take one trade and it just works, that's good enough for the day. I feel like if I continue to try to fight it, or not fight it, but continue to try to participate in the market after I've already been very content with the trade I took, it's just less than desirable for me. I'm a one and done kind of guy if that's the way it transpires. I have a rule. I only take 3 trades in a session. If I take two winners, I'm done. If I take 2 losers, I'm done. If I take a winner and a loser, I'll potentially take a third trade. But I just felt like because I added to this trade here and it worked out, I felt really, really good about it, and I just left it alone. So that's how I played it. Hope you guys had a great day. If you learned something, of course, please like the video. If you have a comment, feel free to leave it below. I'll also put my email address below. If you want to learn more about joining me live in the analysis room every morning, we look at the NASDAQ, S&P, crude oil, and gold. I've got a handful of clients that are doing really, really well. Those are the ones that are ultra committed. Right, and then I got a handful of clients that are fighting the process because, they're trying to force the process, and you have to not force it, you have to endure it, and that means that you have to focus on the process, not the profits. Traders that I've worked with over the years that struggle the most are money focused. Traders I've worked with over the years that are most successful are process focused. Very different. Okay. I don't care about the money, I care about the process, because if I do my job to the best of my ability, the money is a byproduct of the process being done well. So my focus with my clients, because I've learned from experience, is to focus on helping them grow into the process. The profits will follow, okay? It is what it is. You just have to be ready and willing to stay focused on the process. Practice, practice, practice. Hammer out a trade plan, understand when, where, and why, what you're going to do. A leads you to do B and C, X leads you to do Y and Z, period, right? You just have to be a robot. You just do the trade plan over and over and over again, cumulatively over a handful of wins, handful of losses, you should be net profitable. The variable I've found over the years is not the trade plan, and it's not the market, it's the trader. So I focus a lot on the content that I discuss in the live analysis room is how to build on the process as the trader, okay? Because more often than not, the trade plan's not the issue, the market's not the issue, the trader's the issue. So my goal, understanding that, is to hammer on those concepts that help people grow into the process, right? If you focus on the process, the profits will come. I've done this for a lot of years. I can tell you with certainty that as long as you are focused on the process over and over and over again, right? As long as you can emotionally withstand the ups and downs, but when you're focused on the ups and downs, you're focused on the profit. So I tell people you got to redirect your focus into the process. I'm going to do the process the same every day. And if I don't get the opportunity that meets my trade plan, I'm just simply not going to place a trade, right? Not trading is part of trading. A lot of people don't understand that. I dive deep into that because these concepts are what make a difference, right? Somebody just throwing you some random trade idea in a Discord doesn't teach you the mentality of becoming a successful, disciplined, consistent trader. And that's my goal. That's the reason that I'm live with you, 15 hours a week, 60 hours a month. I'm live with you because I want to share with you the things that I had to struggle through to get to where I am today so that it can accelerate your trading journey. So again, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. God bless. I will see you in the next video.